Sometimes in business, we actually find it hard to sell, actually ask for the sale. So today I've got a special guest on and we're talking about tiny offers. So maybe if you're having trouble selling what you do, then maybe a tiny offer is something that you need inside your business. Anyway, can't wait for you to listen to my guest and learn all about tiny offers. Hey, welcome to the Small Business Made Simple podcast, brought to you by socialmediaandmarketing.com.au. Being in business is never easy, but it can be simple, or at least simpler. Join me, your host Jen Donovan, every week where we focus on marketing, social media, and working towards simplifying your business. You with me? Let's do this.
Dream it big, 'cause someone out there listening. Everyone's got a voice to give, and it's time I heard you whistling, 'cause there's no point at all, in dreaming small,
Hey there, my fabulous podcast listener. Welcome to episode 88 of the Small Business Made Simple podcast. Thank you, as always, for lending me your ears today. I know you have lots of choices out there, but I really do appreciate you making me one of them. If you're a first-time listener, then super welcome to you. I am the host, Jen Donovan, and if you are a long-time listener, then hey, super welcome to you. It's my job via this podcast and just about everywhere else that I hang out to make your business life simpler. Being a thought leader in marketing here in Australia and a marketing strategist for small business, I know that business can be lonely and hard and complicated, and look, it's rarely easy, but it should be simple, or at least simpler. So that is my commitment to you on the so-named Small Business Made Simple podcast. One of the ways I can help make your life a little bit simpler is joining my like-minded business owners group on Facebook, and I'm also going to take that group to the next level starting September. So we're in September now. So starting September, I really want to take that group to the next level. So I'm going to do more lives, have live guest appearances in there. I think for September, I've got one of my good friends coming to talk about how to get your business into the media. So how to get free PR for your business. And I've also got my finance guru coming in to have a bit of a chat with you all as well. So if you haven't joined the like-minded business owners group, then I suggest you hop over to Facebook and join. Of course, just go to Facebook, search like-minded business owners, or come to the show notes at socialmediaandmarketing.com.au/88. This episode is, of course, sponsored by my 30-day social media and marketing challenge. Now, this month has finished and is closed, but we have a new one starting in October. So if you're ready to up your social media game, you want daily accountability and a supportive community around you, then this is the thing that you should be looking at doing for your business come October. You can join the waitlist at bit.ly/Jen's waitlist. So come and be challenged and look, invest in yourself and invest in your business. As I said at the very start, today we are going to talk about tiny offers. Angela Henderson from Angela Henderson Consultant is my guest, and if you don't know what a tiny offer is, then you soon will. I've been following Ange now for a while and in her world for the last few months or so, and she's my kind of girl. She's giving, she's knowledgeable, she's authentic, and well, she's just basically a fabulous human. And I love that she's coming on the podcast today to talk about tiny offers. I've talked about tiny offers with her before, and I just thought it was a really good subject for the podcast. And of course, she agreed to come on and have a chat. A tiny offer is just that. It's a tiny offer with a tiny price point. I'm all for freebies for nurturing and list building purposes and leading with value, but somewhere along the line, we have to ask for the sale. After all, we are in business to make money, and we need to stop being embarrassed by that, or we need to stop having that as a blockage for us. Without money, we just wouldn't have a business, or most of us wouldn't have a business. So I really encourage you to listen to this episode with fresh eyes or fresh ears and see if a tiny offer is something that you think could fit into your strategies or your marketing strategies and your business. It's a really great episode. It's something a little bit different that I haven't spoken about before and I haven't heard on many other podcasts. So let's welcome Ange to the podcast. And I am super excited to have you on this podcast today. I've listened to your podcast lots and lots of times, so I kind of feel like I've got a bit of a celebrity coming onto mine. So thanks so much, Ange, for agreeing to come on the podcast today.
Gosh, thanks so much for having me. I'm all about community, as you know. So, I'm so pumped to be here and support your audience any way I can.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Ange, for anyone who perhaps haven't heard of Ange Henderson or haven't come across you in their socials, can you tell my audience just a little bit about what you do?
Sure, yeah. So I started in business over a decade ago with an e-com platform called Finley and Me, where we really focused on creating childhood memories through play, love, and travel. At one stage, we had about 1,400 different products going, which was fantastic. And again, really focusing on fine motor skill development, imaginary play, nurturing just creativity, and building those connections with family and friends. So it was, great platform. I loved it. And through Finley and Me, I also became one of Australia's leading influencers. I was signed with Netflix as one of their top 30 influencers. I was working with, Woolworths, Kohl, Spotlight, and a variety of other Australian brands and international brands. So that's where my first business started. But it was through that business that I was able to get the skills and resources and understanding about what businesses need in order to be, sustainable and profitable. And then what happened is over a matter of a couple of months, people wanted to pick my brain. And at that stage, I was a bit naive because obviously I had been an e-com platform, not a service-based platform. And I was like, oh, sure, I'd love to go out for coffee. And I was like, well, hold on, I don't even drink coffee. I drink Diet Cokes. I'm having to drive 30 minutes one way. Then I'm having to pay my own bill and drive back. And I was like, it was starting to get a bit exhausting, to be honest. And then I thought, oh my goodness, I had the aha moment. I was like, if I would have charged those people for my expertise in consulting, I could have a secondary business, Jen. So that's where my current business, which has been going for about 3 years now, Angela Henderson Consulting, has come about. And now I focus on really working with women in business to get all the pieces in place to have consistent 5-figure months and then on to 6- and 7-figure years without burning out in the process.
Beautiful. And, a retailer turned business consultant. I love that. That has been my journey as well. And another non-coffee drinker. I don't think there's many of us out there, but that's sensational.
Especially in Australia. I find the Aussies love their coffee. It's like they can't even talk until they're caffeinated, right? So, I can't talk. I do love, like I said, I pretty much have a Diet Coke in my hand by 8 o'clock in the morning. So I get I need something in my hand. But Aussies, they literally don't function until the coffee's in them, right? So, the Aussies and coffee drinkers, you guys go, there's so many of you, but also tea drinkers. But I'm more of a Diet Coke kind of woman.
I'm forced myself to like green tea. So that's my drink in the morning. And it was literally I used to just kind of dabble the tea bag in there and then throw it out. But now I've got to the stage where, I quite enjoy my green tea. So yes, so still not a coffee drinker though.
Yeah, no. I love the smell of coffee. I just cannot actually stomach coffee at all.
It's very funny. There's not many of us out there, like I said, so it's always good to find another one. And one of the things that I know we've been talking about, and something that kind of piqued my interest, which I would wanted you to come on the podcast today and have a chat about, is tiny offers and offering that. That those people in your funnel or the people, your prospects or your potential customers and clients, just something small. And I really wanted to sort of explore that with you today. So what is a tiny offer? What is that you sort of talk about as a tiny offer?
So for me, a tiny offer is just something that is obviously not free, and that it allows people who have been watching you, whether or not it's been on a podcast or reading your blog articles or in your Facebook community, and they're like, man, I would love to work with this person just a little bit, but they might not be able to afford your one-to-ones. They might not be able to afford the masterminds, whatever that is, Jen. But a tiny offer gets someone into your ecosystem at a very lower cost point. So typically a tiny offer, depending on what it is, it could be a $7 checklist. It could be a $7 guide. It could be a $27, like I have an Instagram mastery business course. It's just these tiny offers that don't take up a lot of our time. All right. But still give them something to get into your ecosystem, moving their business forward. And so that's really it. It's just something really tiny, bite-sized, that again gets their teeth sunk into what you offer. Allowing you to get the benefits, and we'll talk more about those benefits later, while at the same time giving your audience what they need to move their business forward without it being free.
So we've kind of been taught as business owners about the freebies, even in my retail days, it was kind of like, what could you give away for free to sort of, nurture that person, or to get your name in front of that person, or to have them come back again. And we kind of talk about that a lot, as far as lead magnets go, and that it's kind of like free, free, free. So this isn't like kind of almost turning that on its head, but it makes so much sense. And I guess when I first heard you starting to talk about tiny offers, to me, it was kind of like, we had them in retail. They were called lost leaders. There were these
Exactly right.
little items that, maybe we weren't going to earn a profit off, but they were to bring the customers through the door, and we called them lost leaders.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what Woolworths, Big W, Kohl's, and everyone else does every single week, right? So, I mean, it's not just for service-based businesses. It can be for product-based businesses too, but that's what, I mean, why do they have their catalogs every single week that we get in our news boxes, or like in our letter boxes, right? Is because they want us to go, oh my goodness, this is 50% off, or this is 60% off. And we go in, and yes, of course they're going to lose out on that particular item, but they're going to gain that back because now we've got a shopping cart filled with, do you know what I mean, $200, $300, $400 worth of food for the week. So it's just the marketing.
Yeah, it was kind of like a bit of a face palm moment for me. I have to say, because it's something we did very well in my retail business, but I haven't taken it over into my service-based business. So from what your point of view, and from what you talk to your customers, to your clients about, what are the key benefits of having this tiny offer?
I think for me, there's three key benefits, Jen, in regards to being able to produce something that is not only going to help those people that I'm helping, but equally help grow my own business. And one is, at the end of the day, is it becomes a numbers game, regardless if you're service-based or e-com, right? If we look at, say, e-com, you pretty much, again, on a good day, again, is 3% conversion off of a website. And again, for service-based, you're looking at 1, maybe max 2% conversion. So one of the benefits is that it's a numbers game. And again, if you can only convert 1%, again, 1% out of every 100 people, right, is not a lot of people, kid and caboodle in there, okay? So to me, one is it's increasing your ecosystem by getting more people into it. And by what I mean by more people into it is it's more people who are paying into your ecosystem. So for me, it's number one benefit is it's numbers game and people into the ecosystem who are paying to be in the ecosystem. Benefit number two, to me, is you will have a lot of people sitting on the fence. Again, if we look at a cold client, a client who knows nothing about you and has never bought from you, a warm client who knows about you but has never bought from you, and then a hot client. You want to get as many people as you can into that hot client scenario, right? Because even if it's only $7, they've still given you their credit card. They are still more likely now to open up those emails where, and again, with a freebie, I don't know about you, but I put it into my little resource folder and then only draw down on it when and if I need it. So I don't actually really look at it. So again, benefit number two is you move clients from cold and warm into hot purchasing clients, even if it's only a $7 product. And the last benefit for me is it's still money in. Right? Even if you're just breaking even, all right? Or even if you just run at a deficit for a couple of dollars, right? Money is still coming in. When money starts to come in and you start to build your ecosystem, your confidence starts to gain, your self-esteem starts to gain, your strategy starts to, and everything becomes a knock-on effect, all right? But if you just keep going freebie, 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 and nothing's converting, you start to get deflated and it's a ripple effect. So yeah, those are my top three benefits is numbers game and building ecosystem. Two, you move them from hot to warm to from cold to warm to hot client, and three is money in.
Yeah. I probably resonate the most with the last one, the money in, and the confidence building, and just that I find that a lot of small business owners, they are on a sliding scale inside their own business where perhaps they just need that extra confidence boost to go, oh my gosh, people are willing to pull out their wallets to buy from me. Oh, they do know, like, and trust me. Oh, and just that starts to build momentum inside your business with the confidence you are gaining.
100%. Whereas again, if you're just flogging a dead horse, is what I say, with your freebies all the time, and you're just seeing all these numbers come in, not to mention the cost. All right. Yeah. When I run Facebook ads to a lead magnet that's free, for example, is if my cost is say $400 for that, to get that person on my email list, but they're never going to buy from me, I'm actually running at a deficit. And so then what happens is then I'm also paying for Active Campaign to hold these emails. So then there's another deficit from a financial loss that I'm sitting at. And then I have to go through and maybe 3 to 6 months whenever I do a clean out on my email list. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I paid $8,000 for these leads and only $2,000 are worth of it, right? So, there's this, you got to look at that, both that short and long-term strategy. And for me is I would much rather be paying Facebook to get me that lead and break even, because they're more likely to buy from me again than someone who's just going to put something in a resource folder.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the way you broke down that numbers game. It's just not the Facebook ad. It's, it is those other things that sit there, and to pay your VA to go through your list, and see who's still opening emails and perhaps who's not anymore, because we want good open rates. So we don't necessarily want those people on our email list that are never opening our emails.
Exactly right. It's like they're just, again, and that's okay. Not everyone's going to buy from us, and I'm 100% okay with this. But the same thing is I would rather have a smaller email list with quality people that I'm going to be able to help than a number, like bigger numbers. And I think a lot of people get hung up on big numbers, and it's just like, no, actually, you want quality numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. So if we take a tiny offer, where does it sit in our sales funnel or our marketing funnel, or does it have to sit anywhere in particular, or does it just depend on what the offer is and who you're trying to target?
I think there's a lot of variables that we need to consider when we're looking at where it sits within the funnel. I mean, you could have a freebie right at the top of funnel, all right? Because I believe there's still a place for freebies, but you've got to be willing to test and being able to measure what money you're bringing in for those freebies, right? And again, the ROI on those. If you still see ROI, so if you're spending $2,000 a month on Facebook ads to say, let's say 200 more people in, but you've got a high-end ticket product, which is say $10,000, you might go, actually, I'm prepared to pay that money every single month, Jen, because I only need one client, and I've not only recouped the money from the ad cost, but I've also, made a profit from it. So you've really got to be looking at what that ROI is. But so you could just go to a freebie. All right. So you've got your top of funnel as a free lead magnet or a checklist or a guide, but off the back end of that, you might have a upsell or a bump offer on the back of that, which will go, great, thank you so much for downloading this. As a one-time offer or as a one-time upsell, you can get this for $7, right? So you could have that as part of that funnel right then and there, Jen. Yep. Or you might just do top of funnel freebie, and then in your email sequence, post them downloading the freebie. You then might offer the $7 or the $27. So it could be at top of funnel, but it could also, or mid funnel, but it could also be at top of funnel, whereas like we're running ads right now, Jen, where it's like literally it's a $7 Instagram, 30 days of Instagram content to get your, sparking creativity and really engaging and connecting with your audience for $7. But the way that we can also do this, Jen, is you go $7 and then have a $17 upsell, which is for Instagram graphics. And then once they then typically would go to a thank you page, I then have them going to, it's called an OTO page, which is a one-time offer page, which then gives them my Instagram mastery course for $27. So you've now just taken them from a $7 cart up to, I have to do the math, 7 and 17 and 27, roughly say $70 to cart. So do you see how you've just moved them along the journey, the buyer journey cycle? Now they might still deny, they might not want the graphics, and they might not want the one-time offer, and that's okay. But I've still planted the digital footprint seed that that's what's coming next.
Yeah. So one of the things that you said where you started off there, and I guess I would just really love my audience to hear a little bit more explanation around that. So you've got a $7 offer for your Instagram. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I didn't quite write down exactly what it was.
You're all right. Yeah. So it's a $7 and it's really simple. It's like a 5-page guide on 30 different Instagram content ideas to give your audience. Because a lot of times the pain that people have when they come to me as their business consultant, obviously I'm not an Instagram specialist, but I've used Instagram for over a decade with both of my platforms, know how to use it well. And I saw that there was a pain there. So I was like, okay, what's their biggest pain? The biggest pain is I don't know what the hell to write.
So for my audience who's listening to that, and here's, you've got a $7 tag on that. Why would someone pay $7 to get that from you when they can get that content for free somewhere else. So what is it that makes someone want to pay $7? So I just think it's really important for my audience to understand, why someone would pay $7 from you as opposed to Googling it and finding it themselves.
Well, yes, I mean, that's going to come down to individuals, right? I can't talk about what individuals are going to do or not do, but if they're sitting there and I'm presenting to them that this is the solution and the pain that they're going through is this, and I've presented that option in front of them, they're more likely going to take it. Now, again, if they want to go and Google it, I'm sure that they could go and Google it and try and put a whole, variety of things together.
Yep.
But I look at time and efficiency.
Yeah.
So if I'm like, okay, it's going to take me 4 hours to Google things, write everything down, stitch it all together. If my hourly rate is $50 an hour, I've then just spent $200 of my time trying to put a $7 packet together that I could have just paid $7 for and had what I wanted at the end, right? So I always think about how is this going to help add value to the person who's buying it? It's up to us to sell this. Of course, anyone can go get majority of things on YouTube and whatever for free, but it's going to be up to you and your selling points and understanding your ideal client and using great messaging and copy to put in front of them that it becomes an irresistible offer. Like it's like $7. It's a no-brainer. Take my money. Yeah. But I know what my ideal client was missing and what their biggest pain point was. Yes. And their biggest pain point with Instagram is I just don't know what to write.
Yeah. And I think that's perfect. And I think my audience really needs to hear that, because I think at the end of the day, there isn't much that you couldn't find someone else doing on YouTube or someone else, offering for free, but that's not the point necessarily. If you know your client well enough, then they will love to spend $7 with you because you've highlighted their pain points with them.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. But then again, think about when you're creating your tiny offer, what is the next thing that they're going to need? All right. So for me, it's like, great. If people are going, great, now I've got all this content and I know what to do with it. Now it's Instagram. Instagram is driven by photos, right? And stories. Now I'm going to need templates. Great. Well, don't worry. I've got you covered, because for $17, my upsell now is get 40 Instagram graphics that are, done for you. You can customize them with your own brand colors, and 20 Instagram story templates done for you, customized with your own stuff, right? So again, they now go hand in hand. So again, I've just taken them from $7 of giving them the content that they're missing, and now I've also given them the tools and resources they need to get that content presented to their audience by giving them the graphics they need. So that's how when I look at the tiny offers, I'm thinking about what's coming next, Jen. How do I add on this? Because you just don't want to leave them hanging, right? No, like you don't.
No, so they're a hot lead.
They're like, great, I've already paid you the $7 and now I can get the graphics for $17, and now I can get your whole course that comes with 8 modules, 4 bonuses, etc. for $27. Like it just becomes a no-brainer for people.
Yeah. That's I love it, and I'm really hoping that my audience can actually see it in their mind, the steps that are, being taken and the process that is actually going through. So for anyone who's listening that, you've piqued their interest and you're kind of like, okay, where do I start with thinking about a tiny offer? Do you have any tips and tricks on how, someone can actually just start to look inside their business to see what perhaps they were giving away for free, or maybe if they haven't even got a freebie yet, what that can look like as far as starting to think what a tiny offer could look like?
Again, a lot of businesses that I work with, typically, again, if we just even look at what they've been posting on Instagram, if we post what they're posting in their communities, if they've got a blog or they've got a podcast, typically we've already got golden nuggets sitting there that we don't need to go and reinvent the wheel. But it comes down to, again, understanding what is your person on the other end actually Googling for, is what I always say. What is the pain that they're going through is so bad that they're like, I just have to go to Google, and God, I hope someone out there has a solution for me. Really try and get in. So again, even though I'm a business consultant and Instagram is not my primary, I don't have massive courses of Instagram and Facebook ads and all that, I still knew that the pain was like, I know I need to market. This is how do I market? Instagram, that's where my ideal client is sitting. So understanding, Jen, about what would they go and Google for? What is the solution that you already have probably within the content that you have available? Could you survey your audience and ask them what their biggest pain points are? And you could create something if you want to, if it fits within your business realm. Like really go, and a lot of times people are scared to ask their audience because they feel like, oh, what does that mean if I have to go and ask them? Shouldn't I be able to read their minds? No, that's actually, like the most harmful thing you could do is try and read people's minds. Go and ask your audience what they want. Email them, Send them a survey, ask them in your Facebook community, pick up the phone and talk to old, clients as into what they want, and then just create it. Like my $7 offer, like you literally can create that on Canva. Right. So I think, again, people will try and sabotage this because they're going to be, oh, it's going to be so much work. Did it online. And I call BS on it, Jen. It's like, literally, if you know how to turn on a computer, you pretty much could probably get on a Canva. Is it going to be perfect? No, but I'm also about done is better than perfect. Just get your $7 offer out there, because this is the thing. It comes down to selling, Jen. People aren't selling enough in their business. They got their offers out on their website, and they might have a blog and they might have a podcast, but they're not selling. So some of the barriers here is like, it's not really about creating the $7 offer. It's about that they have to sell it. Right. And so my thing is don't self-sabotage this because it's $7, because ultimately this is what can grow your business exponentially off of a $7 offer, guys. So know that, again, you should be selling all the time. So if you're listening, they're going, oh shit, do you know what I mean? She's called me out, or oh shit, I don't have or I've got a freebie. Great. I mean, but a freebie is also easy to hide behind, right? Because it makes you all warm and fuzzy. I'm giving something away for free and I'm the good person. Well, giving something away for free is not going to pay your bills, right? So I guess for me, is the $7 offer is also about, it's a way for businesses who might struggle with selling, say, their bigger coaching product or their mastermind or whatever, that they can start selling a smaller offer, get some confidence and some runs on the board to go, you know what, actually my shit's amazing and people need my stuff and it's an irresistible offer, and it's just about building that confidence. So for me, Jen, it's really about creating something that your audience wants, that lights you up, that's going to lead them into their funnels, that again helps them on that business journey, but also helps you with selling. Because this is, to me, tiny offers is just the icing on it's just like, it's the first layer, I should say, Jen, right? But it comes down to is that business owners need to be able to sell.
And that, that whole spiel was just beautiful, or perhaps encouraging. I'm not quite sure what the right word is I'm looking for, other than perhaps, an ass whipping, maybe, for a lot of people listening, including myself, because it's certainly something, an area of growth inside my business is, looking at the sell systems. And it's, for some people, it is uncomfortable to sell. So perhaps starting off with, small offers can help alleviate some of that barriers, I guess, that people put up in front of themselves because they don't want to sell their big ticket items to audiences they don't think want it. And I guess that all comes down to, strategy and looking at your business and looking inside your business as to where you want to take it. What's the end goal? Starting with that end in mind and working backwards, to the stage where you can get for a tiny offer that's going to help you lead to that end goal for your business. And this has been a sensational conversation. I really hope that my audience has got a lot from listening to you, and perhaps that you have, tweaked something inside them where they think, oh, I need to look into this a little bit more, or I could perhaps do a tiny offer, or what that might be for my audience. But if you've said something that has piqued their interest, what's the best way that someone can get in contact with you?
Yeah, I say, depending on, again, what you need for your business right now, is it's always the best place is just to head to my website, which is angelahenderson.com.au, and just choose what you need right now for your business. And anyway, I look forward to connecting with you.
Yeah, awesome. Any parting words of wisdom, Ange, that perhaps we haven't covered because I haven't asked the right question, or anything like that you would like to leave on?
Listen, I would just say is that, again, your job as a business owner is your job. Like if you think about job responsibilities, right? When we work with corporate, we would go in and we had a job description. Your job description as a business owner is to sell. So for me is again, if you struggle with selling, really look at what is that's holding you back, because selling you're going to either be successful or not successful, but you need to be selling, not necessarily every day, but almost every day, and putting something in front of them. So yeah, think about what you might need to change within your business in order to ensure that your audience knows what you have on offer every single day.
Wow. Beautiful parting words for a business podcast. Thank you, Ange. That's great. Again, can't thank you enough for coming on and sharing all your wisdom, not only around tiny offers, but clearly about some funnels and what they can look like as well. So, thanks so much, Ange, for coming on.
Thanks for having me, Jen. Hopefully I was able to give a few little nuggets to your audience, and look forward to staying connected with you, obviously, and your audience, and here to support you any way I can.
Beautiful. All right. Thanks so much, Ange, and we'll talk again real soon.
All right. Have a great day, hun.
So, guys, how was that? Did that get you thinking? I really hope it did. That's why I do these podcast episodes, to get you thinking and maybe even get you thinking outside your comfort zone or outside the square. So what could your tiny offer be? How could it fit into your marketing strategy or maybe even into your sales funnels? Something to ponder, I'm sure. But that is it for episode 88. I cannot believe that we are at episode 88. Every time I say just edging towards 100 just has me so super excited. Of course, as mentioned at the beginning of this episode, it is sponsored by my 30-day social media and marketing challenge. So if you want to go on the waitlist for October, go to bit.ly/Jen's waitlist. If you've got questions about tiny offers or anything really, head to the Like-Minded Business Owners group and don't forget to join up, because I've got those fantastic guests coming in over September as well. I will, of course, be back next Thursday with another great episode to help you simplify your business in 2020. If you're enjoying this podcast, then please hit the subscribe button so that you never miss an episode, and maybe even share this episode with another superstar business owner who's doing that daily grind, who might actually appreciate learning about tiny offers and thinking that they could fit into their marketing strategy as well. If you have time to leave a rating and review, I would so appreciate that as well. I will, of course, be back next week for episode 89. But in the meantime, let's get social. On social, you'll find me at Instagram, Facebook, and of course, LinkedIn. But whatever you do, my small business peeps, remember, as my opening song says, there is no point in dreaming small.
Say it proud, be true, and let us see you for the star that you are. No point in dreaming small.